When I approached this question, growing up into the person your younger self would be safe with, I kind of had to question what makes a kid feel safe
Hmm.
around somebody. And the first thing I went to was risk, the idea of risk, and how risk is, situation involving exposure to danger. And to feel safe, you pretty much want to either eliminate risk, or you need to be assured that the risk isn't as risky as you thought, or that, you'll be caught if you fall. Like if you're a kid, I feel like those are the things you think about when things are risky.
Hmm.
And to relate that to a person, you have to have trust in that person. So it would be trust that that person will catch you if you fall. That, and the definition: trust, firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. So you got to trust in an individual to help mitigate your risk in order to feel safe. So when I thought about that, I was like, okay, um, like what kind of person would look like that? And I instantly thought of like a good leader. What would a good leader look like? Because when there's a good leader, I mean, even if there is risk, you can still feel safe. So it's almost like if you have a really strong father figure in your life,
Hmm.
like things could go, bad, but he's still going to be there. He's going to help you through. He'll um, show you a direction you can take. He's not going to do the shit for you, but it's someone to go back to, someone to rely on, someone you can lean on, someone who's going to be in your corner. And that's kind of what would make you feel safe. So I kind of just looked into some things relating to leadership, as far as like a kid would think about, right? Like not what he would think about, what he would notice. So
Hmm.
one of the first things was, humility, the humility of a person. So not everything's about them. They're not boasting all the time. They're not gonna, just be like, "Hey, look at me, ugh, you." No, they're gonna, no matter how good they are in their place, they're not gonna boast about it. They're gonna raise you up. So that's someone you're not gonna have to compete with ego wise. So because as a kid, you got a big fucking ego. And anytime there's competition, that's instability, right? Like in that sense. So
Hmm.
you won't have to worry about that. Another thing is respect. Do they respect you as a person? And again, as a kid, you're not thinking like, oh, is this person going to respect me? You just see their actions. Are they respecting me? You don't hear those, in your mind, you don't hear the word respect. You may not even know what that is, but you understand when somebody's not respecting you. Maybe they're ignoring you. They treat you like you don't exist. I wouldn't feel safe around somebody who doesn't acknowledge my existence, someone who just thinks I'm not there. So that was another one. Listening. When you're talking as a kid, like, is somebody just going to shut you down, or do you feel heard at all? Like if you really have a problem and you gotta, you know you're shouting, talking, and nobody hears you, you feel like you're alone, and you feel unstable, therefore unsafe. So if my older self, what I strive to be, strive to listen. That's what I would strive to do in that situation as well. In owning mistakes, don't pass them off to the kid for things that you're actually, responsible for. So the kid doesn't know, you know, things that'll happen. They haven't been around the world a lot. They don't know, if you mix this with this, it'll explode. They have no idea. So when something happens, don't just blame it on them. Oh, why didn't you know? They don't fucking know. They don't know yet. So mistakes, they're on you. Hey, that happened. here's, let's give it a, you know, educational thing. Like, here's why it happened. Let's try not to have that happen again. But that way they don't feel attacked for every single thing that goes wrong. Right. And then allow them the success. So when things do go right, you kind of raise them up. And that's kind of when we were talking about relationships and friendships, that kind of that happiness, that positivity, that's like a foundation. Like when things go well, you know, an egotistical person will just kind of take it, and it's like, it's because of me, not you. So the kid will kind of feel left behind, left out. But you know, if you did something, then you know, hey, good job, you made this happen, awesome. They get self-confidence out of that.
Yeah.
And being decisive, so that would just be, the kid knows there's a direction. He knows that you know, no matter what, even if a situation is risky, if there's something weird going on, you know, he's not left stuck in the water. There's somebody who's there in his corner, or leading him, just, you know, showing him how to go. So they're not sitting there in instability. So they feel secure in a direction. And also not being extreme. So extreme anger, or, you know, over niceness, dude, you'll be seen through. And if it's like extreme anger, the kid will be scared. They won't feel safe. But I feel like with all of this, it's one of the things that I thought about when it's like, would I feel safe with my older self, is, am I a leader enough that a kid could see it easily? And in all these situations, would I be able to react in the proper way? And not only, you know, if something goes wrong, be able to protect them, but if something goes wrong and I'm not around, you know, would I be able to, you know, guide my younger self enough so that when I'm not around, they'll be fine with the risk. They can conquer the risk on their own. So that was kind of my take on the whole thing. It was more of a like, I have to be a leader myself. I can't. I have to strive to be a leader now if I want my younger self to be safe, or to feel safe with me.